Hey guys, so we are back with part 2 of this great episode with Jorge, aka the man formerly dressed as Prince, and John No H. And we're going to get right back into it. It was a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and tell your friends about it. All right, guys, we're going to get right back to it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bourbon and Bullshit podcast with some good friends, great drinks, and a little bit of BS. So grab a seat, pour up something neat, and welcome to the show. Hey guys, we are back, and I'm going to give you a hot take. Biker Boys is better than Fast and Furious.
Name me 3 actors for Biker Boys.
Not a single one.
Okay.
Can't name a single fucking one.
So then I don't know what you're talking about. What year did Biker Boys come out?
2004?
3? And who's in it?
I've never heard of this movie.
Yeah. So who's in this movie?
I don't know. You put me in a spot.
Lawrence Fishburne.
I knew Lawrence Fishburne.
Wait,
Derek
really?
Luke, Orlando Jones.
I knew Orlando Jones.
Digimon Hanzo.
Kid Rock was
Did you say Digimon Hanju?
Megan Good. I'm not talking to you.
The dude from Blood Diamond.
Megan Good.
Yeah.
Lisa Bonet. Ooh,
Yeah.
Our boy Rick Gonzalez.
Yep.
Right. Shout out to Rick Gonzalez. He's great.
Yeah.
Dante Bosco.
Yep.
Rufio from Hook.
Yep.
And Homeboy from Avatar. Zuko. Tyson Beckford.
I remember that.
Can I just real quick? Okay. A son of the leader of a legendary group of an urban biker gang tries to retain his championship title. 22% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't care. I don't care.
And it's based off of Biker Boys, which and boys is spelled with a Z.
Of course.
I don't care.
Of course it is.
I don't care.
Okay, it didn't even.
That's fair.
It was, the budget was $24 million, and it didn't make $24 million. It made $23 million.
Do you of all people want to get into why it didn't make that much when you look at the cast?
Obviously, we know why. We don't have to talk about why.
Because all of it went to Kid Rock.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Make
Ball
7
with the
up.
ball.
Make 7 up yours.
Right? I love Orlando Jones, and
I love
and for
Orlando
his
Jones.
work in The Matrix, I love Lawrence Fishburne forever and ever.
I love Lawrence Fishburne in everything he's in. I don't give a fuck what he's doing.
Yeah, but then also Kid Rock.
As
Is
long
on
as he's
this.
not actually speaking about his own personal thoughts.
Wait, are they problematic?
A little bit.
Lawrence
God damn it!
or Kid Rock?
Both?
We all know Kid
Lawrence
Rock.
is a little problematic.
We know Kid Rock is a poser piece of shit. That motherfucker comes from money. He's like, oh yeah, I'm from the trailer, motherfucker. You've never been
The trailer in
in a
Detroit.
You've never been in a trailer, you piece of shit. Oh,
Ball
fuck
with
Kid
the ball.
Rock. Fuck Kid Rock so goddamn hard.
I still don't know what ball with the ball
Unconsensually,
means.
fuck that piece of
Yo,
shit.
what's Kid Rock's real name?
Kidford Rodford.
It's Robert James Ritchie.
Oh my
Known
God.
professionally as Kid Rock, as an American music singer, rapper, and songwriter. He was born in 1971.
He's arguably only one of those things.
Also known as Bobby Shazam, according to Wikipedia. He's 54.
Bobby
He can
Shazam.
I'm just reading Wikipedia.
He can
we
Shazam
look up
these
Bobby
nuts.
Shazam?
I don't even
Are we
like.
concerned about what Bobby...
I fucking hate Kid Rock. Fuck
Is that like Post Malone used to have a country like album? Is that like how we
No,
feel
he has
about...
country album now.
Oh, it was a pop.
Yeah, currently he has one.
Yeah, he started off as hip hop.
That's what it was.
White Iverson is one of his, arguably his best song.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, okay. And
What?
then he had the song Sunflower,
Ooh.
which is probably his second best song.
Was that not on the Spider-Man?
That was on the
soundtrack?
Spider-Man.
Okay,
You
yeah.
don't like the one with him and Ozzy Osbourne? Where a bunch of millennials are like, oh, Poston is about to put this Ozzy Osbourne guy on the map?
Oh, he had the song. I'm just going to ignore you. He had the song Congratulations also.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great song.
Great. So those are 3 good songs.
I want to know, I want you guys all at home listening that all of us must have ADHD because we jumped from Biker Boys
Yeah.
to now talking about
to Post Malone.
Congratulations.
Honestly, we did it so professionally, though.
We really did. We just
Yeah.
kind of segued in a way that makes sense.
All right.
Right?
That's
Can we
your...
just go back to like uplifting each other like we did a few minutes ago before the break?
No, fuck
Before
you,
you
dude.
started shitting on Biker Boys, you piece of shit.
I didn't shit on Biker Boys. I asked you, could you name 3 actors? And
I've
you
been
didn't.
drinking. I couldn't think of it
No,
right
I
then
don't
and
think
there.
when
fair.
you were.
You have been drinking. That glass is empty.
I think even
damn.
you sober couldn't tell me 3 actors from that movie.
Yes, I could.
Can you tell me 3 actors from Fast and the Furious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because of family.
He's
Okay. You got to do it. Do it.
do it. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Pull it
you have
up.
to do it.
Pull it
Hold
up.
on.
Pull it up.
No, wait. You guys have to like fill in the gaps real quick. Hold on. Oh,
Okay.
no. Never mind.
I don't have
fast.
I don't
friends.
have friends. I got family.
Jesus.
This show's going to be the worst rated episode.
I don't care. So shout out to David and Kevin for always arguing about Fast and the Furious on all the episodes they've been on. And I'm not saying that Fast and the Furious is the best thing, but this is what I'll say.
Biker Boys is better.
Right. This is what I'll say. Tokyo Drift is a fantastic movie.
It's a perfect movie.
And soft reboot, right?
Yeah.
But Fast 5 was so good.
Top tier.
Top tier. It introduced The Rock. Like, take everything else away. There's 9 Fast and the Furious movies, right? But Fast 5...
Better hide that big ass forehead.
Baby oil.
Oh my God. See what I'm talking about?
For those of you who don't know, that line was completely ad-libbed by The Rock. And they kept it in because Ludacris's real laugh was genuine.
His real spit take.
So shout out to the final boss, The Rock.
Yep.
Right? Like, that's like a lot of our people our age childhood, right? Is The Rock. Mm-hmm. And how many times did we get in trouble as kids for saying things that he said on TV that he probably shouldn't have said? So yeah, that's why Fast 5.
It doesn't matter what your name.
What's your name? It doesn't matter what your name is. Like, it's fantastic. So Fast 5 introduced The Rock to the Fast franchise, and that's why it's awesome. So you don't have to like Fast and Furious, but you got to put some respect.
You have to put respect.
Well, Kevin's on Fast 5 on the movie poster, so I don't know why he's mad.
Kevin?
Ravik. That probably soon. I'm sure.
Not Kevin. I mean, actually, yes, on the spinoff. The Hobbs and Shaw movie.
Oh yeah, he is on that.
Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Hart, right?
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna get a little sad, right? So
do it.
That was the last movie that me and my dad saw with each other before he passed away. And a positive memory that I have is that we saw Hobbs and Shaw in the theater. After I was going through a lot of things in my life. I showed him, hey, like, I'm doing good, I'm successful, I'm managing this retail pharmacy, and I have my own apartment, and I'm okay. We went to the movies. And we saw Hobbs and Shaw, and he would always fall asleep during all the movies he would watch.
That's such a dad move.
He was awake the whole time. And Hobbs and Shaw is arguably not a good movie,
right?
Even though Jason Statement's great, but I will always have a positive memory of that movie because he was awake the whole time. Loved that whole movie, and it was the last movie we saw with each other. And I don't care how trash Hobbs and Shaw is. It is arguably my favorite movie.
It will be the best movie you've ever seen.
It's the best movie to me because I have the best memory of it. Right.
My dad would fall asleep for every movie unless it was like a 90s action flick. And that's why I have such a love for 90s movies, like 90s action stuff like Predator and like The Last Action Hero and shit like that.
I love that.
It's
you're some bangers.
It's all because of my dad. And that's why I love The Expendables. I know what it is going into it. Like, I know it's it's such a garbage fucking movie, but like that moment where like Terry Crews goes through with an auto shotgun and like I laughed so hard in the theater, and like I was laughing and thinking of my dad at the exact same time. It was like a euphoric moment. So
that was one of the worst and best scenes possible.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no reason you had that much time to
So maybe that's also why, like, I'll say that, like, the Fast and Furious movies are okay because it gave me that memory. So if it wasn't for the Fast and Furious movies, I wouldn't have that amazing memory that I have because they would have never made that spin-off movie, right? And I remember exactly what theater we in, where we sat, and I have a picture of him not falling asleep because I was like, bro, I texted some people, he's not asleep. So good. And The Rock was, the star of that movie. So yeah. So if it wasn't for Fast and Furious, I wouldn't have that memory. So maybe that's why.
I love that. I love that so much.
I do love that. That's a great memory.
Yeah.
That. See, Kevin, shut the fuck up.
I won't say that.
No,
Kevin's a great guy.
But he's a great guy, fantastic guy. Shut the fuck
up. Hey, Kevin, I don't know you, and I don't think I'll ever know you. So like, shut the fuck up, man. And I mean that respectfully, because if we ever do meet, I would love to be your friend because you seem really cool. But for right now, shut the fuck up.
No, that really does remind me of one movie that I used to tell my mom that I've never seen you laugh as hard as I've seen you in this. It was the old. It was a terrible fucking movie, which makes me look at my mom like, you really like that? It was back in the day. I was a kid. It was the old school movie Baby's Day Out.
Bro,
it was such a terrible. It was a voiceover, like, oh, these babies are talking to each other, and like you could hear what kids are saying, and they're getting into these antics that babies would never get into. And my mom is laughing, and I remember watching it in real life with her. I got her that when I was older, I got a job, I had money. First gift, I was like, I need to get her something special. I got her a DVD copy of Baby's Day Out. And she was like, wow, what the fuck?
What the fuck is this?
No, she was like, I'm like, that's the only movie I've ever seen you laugh during. She's like, holy shit. Like now I'm an adult and she's probably like, my kid thinks I'm a robot. My kid thinks I'm evil. My
kid thinks I have no emotion.
Yeah, but it was but to John's point, that memory of like, I remember seeing her from, single mom, stressed all the time, always angry, always like, she's Dominican, so that's her default settings, angry and stressed. And
yeah.
Telling me that if I find the thing you couldn't find, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Exactly. Yeah.
The remote's right there.
The remote's right there. Somehow,
Arthur, it's right there.
It magically appears. Yeah. I've been looking at this blank spot for 35 minutes.
If I find it, I'm going.
So I just buy another one.
The fun thing is that she had it with her the whole time. And she's gaslighting you.
Yeah.
So Baby's Day Out was written by John Hughes and produced by John Hughes.
No fucking way.
And made by his production company. So, like, that's pretty good taste, even though it says it's a cult classic. It says that it was trash.
It was awful.
Right? But
it was not good.
But, like, you have such a positive memory, so that's what makes it good.
Oh, yeah.
That, like, knowing that your mom was, like, breaking her back every day to provide for you.
Yeah.
But then you guys had a very, like, intimate moment. That movie came out in 94, just if you guys didn't know. So that's why, you, like, as a child, you had such a great memory, because you're like, wow. You saw your mom actually happy.
Yeah, enjoying herself. Like
enjoying
just,
life.
Because she would go to movies for me. Like, we went and saw Casper for me. We went and saw Mortal Kombat for me.
Man.
Like, we went and saw all these movies for me. And like you could tell, like, this was a chore for her.
Right.
But when she saw Baby's Day Out, she was in it.
Had a great time.
She's like, this is the best movie. It was trash.
I love how this episode has turned into three brown men are going through trauma and all the people who have helped them through it. That's this episode.
You mind your goddamn business.
Yeah. That's great though. Like
George, welcome to Bourbon and Bullshit, where people get drunk and slowly unpack their
unpack just so much trauma.
Let's talk about your childhood trauma, but like let's also talk about like the positive memories that you had around your childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Right?
Speaking of trauma,
please,
we're gonna lighten the load a little bit because it seems like George is Jorge. Pause.
Phrasing.
Are we doing phrasing again?
Hold the load.
So we're
hold the door.
We're gonna go goofier, and then we're gonna go back to some other shit. So I'm never touching that again. Like people have had experiences.
Is this a segment called "I'm Never Touching That"? Okay. Hold on, wait. Hold on. I got this. I'm never touching that again.
This segment is brought to you by Run BMT.
No,
not yet.
Absolutely not.
No, I'm not affiliated.
This segment brought to you by Dare.
By Dare.
Yeah.
I never touched.
I have a story with Dare.
Can I say that Dare really fucked me up?
Dare fucked me up.
I thought if I walked
what was the dog's name?
Was it dog? You mean the lion?
Was it a lion?
It was a lion.
So what am I thinking about the dog with the trench coat?
McGruff.
That's McGruff, Chicago, Illinois.
Why am I missing that up?
It's telling you to snitch on people.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I grew up, we had
Take
Dare,
a bite out
and
of crime.
we also had Great.
The fuck is Great?
I remember Great. I remember Great.
In Central Florida, we had Great.
Yes, we had Great.
Gang resistance, education, and training.
Yes.
Holy crap.
Yep.
Where did that come from?
Holy shit.
Where did that come from?
I haven't thought about it in like 25 years.
So Dare and Great, and then Scruff McGuff, and then Book It. Right? So,
fucking Book It.
Yeah. So now we're going to get nostalgic.
Yeah.
Right. So
Dare fucked me up into my adulthood.
Facts. Right? Like, what did Dare teach you?
Dare taught me that I should never accept drugs from anybody, and that like my greatest fear in life is that a friend would force me to take drugs. And I had this anxiety like in my body for the longest time. It's to the point. This is a true story that I've told a handful of times, but I'll tell it again because I love it so much. I didn't smoke weed until 2017 when I took a trip to Colorado. I took a trip to Colorado to visit some friends.
And
it was legal in Colorado at that point. And they had been smoking the whole time. I'm like, no, I'm okay. No, I'm fine. No, yada, yada, yada. And then we went on a hike and we were like on a cliff. And I shit you not, I'm sitting there on this cliff with my legs dangling like 1 billion feet from the ground. And we're overlooking Colorado Springs and it is gorgeous. And they're like, you want to take this hit? And I was like, you know what? If there's any moment in time where I do drugs, where I do marijuana, it is right here and right now. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's do it. And I take a hit. I take a hit of this this marijuana cigarette, this jazz cigarette, the devil's lettuce, and the wind picks up and blows the ash into my eye, and I am in the most pain I've ever been in my fucking life.
I was like, Jesus.
And I'm also terrified that I'm like writhing, that I'm gonna fall off this fucking cliff. It was the most like, oh my God, Jesus, I'm so sorry, God.
So DARE would have helped you because DARE was drug abuse resistance education to resist drugs and violence.
Yeah.
And I think the drugs were violent towards you.
They were violent towards me, and I should have resisted them. You never listened
to when we were kids. You shouldn't do drugs.
I would say DARE taught me 2 things that were completely false.
Yeah.
That random people would offer me drugs on the streets.
Yeah.
For free. Just here, drink.
Random people, yes. Friends, however, all the fucking time.
All the time.
All the time.
But here's the thing. They talked about peer pressure, right? So this is just my experience.
I've said no one time, and my friends never asked me again.
So that part, right? So I went...
what a fucking loser.
Freshman year of high school, I went to Oak Ridge High School, right? So if you live in Orlando, you know like what area that's in. I remember one of my first days of school, somebody came up to me, hey, yo, you want some weed?
No fucking way. First day?
I was like, no, thank you. Right? And they're like...
That was an Incredible Butters impersonation.
He goes, you sure? And I go, yeah, okay. Then he went to the next person and said, hey, you want some weed? And they left me alone. Nobody ever asked me ever again. And I'm not saying...
No one chased me around my apartment.
Nobody's like, hey, smoke this. You have to take drugs.
Take these drugs, boy.
There's been many times I've been in rooms where people are doing drugs. And they're like, hey, do you want some? And I'm like, no, I'm good. And they go, you sure? They just ask me again. I go, no, I'm good. You got some water? You got like a Diet Coke? You got some cream soda? Like, you got some popcorn? Like...
Why is cream soda on the list?
Because I like cream soda.
Because
right?
Brown. Come on.
Yeah, like what's the problem?
Come on. It's just I've never been at someone. Hey man, you want anything to drink?
Hey girl.
I've never asked for cream soda. I've asked for water.
You want some cream soda?
Yeah, that feels really specific.
It's because I like it.
I understand, but it feels
like okay.
That feels specific enough that you should bring it with you.
Cream soda?
Yes.
Do you have cream soda here?
No, guys, it's fine. I brought
Did you have any in your refrigerator right now?
No, because that's not part of like the normal checklist.
You've never had
parties.
cream soda?
Yes, I've had cream soda.
Okay.
Why don't you have any right now?
Why did you do a whip in your face?
Bro, some bourbon and some cream soda, I bet that would be fire.
I should be
that actually.
I bet that would be pretty fucking
Can we do
good.
that?
Yeah, some, I don't know, we're vanilla bitters or something? I don't know. Does that exist?
Yeah.
Or just vanilla?
I could, yeah, I was like, or just straight up vanilla
so like,
simple syrup.
Yeah, so like we were lied a lot during our childhood, right?
Yeah.
Like,
quicksand is not a problem.
Bro.
Quicksand is not a problem. The war on drugs was made up.
Yeah.
The world is flat. Wait.
That
one's bullshit. Sorry. I got caught up in the moment.
Yeah,
you know, it's a sphere, right? Like I almost made a joke when you were talking about like being on the edge of a cliff in Colorado.
You can't fall off.
Did you see the curvature of the earth? Right? Like, I had to.
You're about to get me blocked on YouTube again.
No, YouTube loves this shit.
No, YouTube. Yeah, right.
Yeah, they love
YouTube
it.
Loves
I know you have a problem with YouTube.
Like, YouTube is always a problem,
and YouTube hates you. But that's besides the point. Oh man, I haven't done my Duolingo, and I'm on like an 100.
Jorge, are you okay? It's a microphone. Is it fighting you?
I don't want to move it and have it go gong 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 gong. I'm trying to be respectful of the podcast.
He can edit that out.
Not really.
So if I just like.
I hate you so goddamn much. Mark! Mark!
People are going to have their headphones on.
What's shitty now is you have to keep that in.
Yeah, no, I don't. Because I marked it and I will just mute him and it'll sound like I was talking to Jorge for 5 minutes.
Hey, I'm a Patreon. Okay, I'm a patron of your Patreon.
I'll put it on Patreon.
Fine.
Jorge has to be Patreon.
That's fair.
But
Mark! I hate both of you.
Yeah, so anyway.
So, yeah, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about, but Dare, no one has ever offered me drugs without me saying no and they moved on.
I was terrified that like a stranger would be like, hey, take these drugs. Yeah, and like once. It would be, they'd force me to do it. That has never happened. Nobody would ever fucking do that.
Mark!
We'll be right back.
Killtacular.
NY State of Mind. So that was one of the...
Yeah.
Man, so one of the questions I sent you, now being a New Yorker, John has visited New York. I'm from New York.
Yep.
John has visited. He stopped in. He's like, hey.
He came in. He was
People actually think that because of the way
sunny disposition.
My sunny disposition, they think that I'm from New York. People are like, oh, so like you were born in Puerto Rico, you've lived in Orlando. So when did you move from New York? And I was like, I'm not from New York. And they go, you're not from New York?
Hold
and
the
I'm
fuck
like,
up.
no, I'm not. They go, are you sure? And I'm like, no, I think I know where I'm
Are
from.
you sure?
Like,
I get the opposite.
like, come on, head ass. Like, I know where I'm from.
I seriously get the opposite. I swear to God, this isn't even a joke. I get the opposite when people ask me, "Oh, where are you originally from?" I'm from New York City. Like, no, you're way too nice.
Where
to
are
be from
you
here.
really
like? How
from?
many years? Oh, were you born there? I was. I lived there until I was like 25, 26. That doesn't make sense. Why? You're nice. The fuck does that mean? Like,
Wait, you lived there until you were 25 or 26?
yeah.
Does that mean that we met like very shortly after you moved
Yes,
here?
John met me a year after I moved to
No
to Florida.
fucking way.
Yeah, I got integrated into your group basically 2 months after, a year and 2 months after I moved to Florida.
Holy shit.
And it was straight up because John felt bad because I was chunky.
I like how that's how you.
I do remember Chunky
You shortened
Chunky G.
it to that,
I shortened
But
it
it's
because of
bigger
all the
than that.
context. I know.
right? And we'll do that on a different day,
episode.
right?
Yeah.
'Cause I know you want to really talk about this New York state of
The New
mind.
York state of
thing,
mind.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Transitioning from Florida to New York, was that a steep learning curve of like cultures and everyone else and like everything that was going on? Or was that something that you felt like was easy? Like, how was that dynamic? Like, did you feel like, because I experienced when I moved from New York here, people said, like, people here seemed really way too nice to me.
Yeah.
Way too casual, way too like dressed down. Like, I just like, why are you just in flip flops at a party? Like,
I'll say that like New York City is very, I mean, like everyone from everywhere moves to New York City. So it's kind of the norm. And so nobody is like, oh, you're not from around here to a certain extent. But like there is a point where like, oh, you haven't been acclimated to life around here yet. I do remember there was this one time this bar I worked at. I was a bar back. This is probably my first job there, and the owner's from Canada, but like would come into New York constantly. Obviously, own the business there in New York, and they were like, oh, it's like, you know, when you go home at night, like, are you worried? Are you like scared or whatever? Like, are you are you in fear because of like, you know, big bad New York City? And I was like, I'm from Florida. Like, we can sort of pseudo open carry there. Like, nothing fucking scares me. And then I had a good friend of mine, Jade, who we actually went to middle school here in Orlando. We went to, a shout out to Howard Middle. We went to Howard Middle together. They had their own journey. They were in New York. That's how I got the job there. They were the bartender there. And they were like, dog, I'm not scared of anywhere unless it's the Bronx. And I'm like, yeah, true, like fucking facts. Like, I'm scared of the Bronx, but we are nowhere near there, so it's fine. I'm totally fine anywhere else.
This guy.
I remember when I moved out here, the scariest thing was it's too fucking quiet here.
Ooh, really?
The weirdest thing to me was going from hustle bustle of the city
Yeah.
and trains and everything. It went
Yeah.
outside is dead quiet.
That was a big thing for me. So I lived my first apartment was on 158th and Broadway.
Oh, I went there.
Yeah, exactly. Super close to where you legit used to live and everything.
I lived on 182nd in Amsterdam. He's like, oh, I live 158 in Broadway. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm up the block.
Yeah,
He's like, what do you mean?
Like,
I
was in between Broadway and Amsterdam.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for me was that my
Also, to New Yorkers up the block could be a 20 block walk.
yeah. my bedroom window was up against the street. So like fucking up there is like the little Dominican Republic. And y'all motherfuckers are loud all the time. I'm trying to sleep and record things. And it's like 4 a.m. and like the police have to come by and like do their siren or whatever to get y'all motherfuckers to go home. And that was a thing I had to like.
It doesn't always land.
It doesn't always land. And to be fair, I was like, I am the outsider. I don't belong here. So I cannot be mad. Like, I cannot be upset. Like, yeah, it sucks, but I need to work around it because I'm the one who's like, not for nothing, gentrifying up here. Mm-hmm. So like, I worked around it for sure, but there were a couple times where I'm like, motherfucker, I'm either trying to sleep or B, I'm trying to record something like voice acting kind of thing so that I could.
You're soundproofing. Shut up.
I would put up soundproof and shit, and it just wouldn't work because I mean those walls are paper thin. That window is single pane.
It's not my problem that you don't like.
And Dominicans are really, really loud. Like, I haven't even hit that extra octave.
So loud.
In this group of friends, I've never had to go all the way Dominican loud because I'm the only one of us other than Rosanna. You've never been around us with a full-fledged Dominicans.
Come up to where I live and go get your haircut at the Dominican barber. Come over and get your haircut.
Full-fledged.
Okay,
he's half and he's quiet as shit. Also, put the mic back on. Norby's half Dominican.
Is he really? What's his other half?
Quiet.
Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican and Italian somewhere.
I didn't put that on blast. You did.
Yeah,
I pushed the mic.
He's part Dominican. We talked about it on the Bah Humbug episode.
Watch your mouth.
I will say, so like growing up here in Orlando, I've always been taught that like Puerto Rican Spanish is the like dirtiest of the Spanish.
No.
It is the sloppiest, dirtiest, sort of like loosey-goosey of Spanish.
Yeah, because it's halfway English.
Yeah, and then I move up to like the little Dominican Republic, and I cannot, for the life of me, understand any Dominican person in like not a single fucking word, not a single goddamn thing to this day. And I'm like, no, this is the sloppiest Spanish that I've ever fucking heard in my life.
So stay tuned for our next episode. One of our spotlights is with a Dominican woman, Yvonne, one of our biggest supporters. She's Dominican, and we are going to be talking about the la cultura, the culture, the campo, and everything. Please. So we're going to be actually our drink is going to be a Dominican old fashioned.
Can you say coño?
Coño, carajo. That's
that
in me.
Kind of transferring of like.
I want to get my barber up here. My barber Richard Rodriguez. He knows like 7 words in English. I know 7 words in Spanish, and yet we still like every time I come in, we dap it up. He knows what I do. He knows what I want for like my haircut. He does it and he goes clean, and I'm like clean. And he's like clean, and like it's perfect every single time.
That's Dominican barbers are multifaceted. This is why they have so many goddamn babies. He's
sipping Modelo. He's on his phone on WhatsApp. He's not even looking, doing like my fade, and it's perfect every single time.
Dominican barbers are godsends. Anyone listening at home,
every time.
White, Hispanic, Black.
I mean, your barber does God's work because you're bald.
Yeah, somehow. All I need is to be enough shine to blind you to think I'm funny.
And you pay for that.
Yeah.
Your barber is good, though. When I had hair, I went to him a couple times.
When John had for his wedding, first one,
I do remember.
I made sure that he got it hooked up.
Jesus Christ.
What? He made the joke early.
I know.
I can't make the joke.
Everybody knows. It's fine. It's okay. But I can make that joke.
He can make that joke.
I made the joke when I asked you to be one of my groomsmen.
Wait, is there a date?
No, not yet.
Okay.
For me and him to get married?
Is there a date?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
It's a race for it.
Not for nothing, we already mentioned him earlier, Drew Malone. I was not invited to his wedding, and that's fine. I get it. I understand. I wasn't invited. I know the like financial circumstances.
It was very small.
There was a part of me that was like, ow. If I'm not invited to either of your weddings, I will set your shit on fire.
Oh, Jesus! That's the whole thing.
I'll set the whole.
But what if I only like invite 5 people?
If I'm not the 5th,
what?
I'll set your shit on fire.
That's one of the options. It might just be like 5 people, and then I might throw a party later.
That's
okay. So if you throw a small ceremony, and then if you have the reception, if I'm not invited, the ceremony's fine. I get that.
Yeah, the reception's everyone.
Okay.
But if I'm not formally invited to the reception, I will.
And before we go down,
did say
set your shit on fire.
I want to run my hands through Jorge's hair. She said that. There's a text message. See?
Well, can you repeat that in full?
Tell Jorge I want to run my hands through his hair, and then it says edited, so that means she changed.
Who is that said that?
His fiance.
She spelled tell wrong. So yeah, that's why. But anyway, shout out to her.
I thought it was Drew. I was like, our problematic drinker.
It's called growth.
It's growth.
I was a problematic.
You want to talk about a problematic drinker? We're on a podcast called Bourbon and Bullshit,
and all of us.
All 3 of our glasses empty.
Yeah, but how many messages have said drink responsibly? Don't drink and drive.
That's fair.
Don't text your ex. Avoid Amazon one-click buy. Don't do anything dumb.
What did Amazon do to you?
Yeah, what did
a lot of fucking shit in my house I don't even use. What do you mean?
I'll take it off your
7
hands.
things in your house.
What?
Like I'm afraid of you.
You're ridiculous. But yeah, we get it.
It's a zombie.
We get it.
You got to be at least invited somehow.
All right. So you will be invited to the reception, but I am getting married in DR.
There's no way in hell I'm going to DR.
So what?
What the fuck?
Okay. Mark! The podcast is going to be full of me yelling, Mark!
Hey, you want bonus content?
Como se dice, there's no fucking way you're going to find me in DR.
It's going to be at an all-inclusive.
Oh, shit. Really?
I finally did my passport. So
yeah.
I've got a passport.
Which I'm proud of you for being an adult finally at 39.
Can we not?
I just got mine last year.
The fuck is wrong with both of you? You're both adults.
I had no reason to go anywhere.
Here's the thing. I had one. It expired. He's never had one.
I want you to also talk to the microphone.
I'm trying to talk to you, not to the listeners.
You look at me.
We're trying to have a conversation.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
trying to be
Like,
real.
Do you not realize what we're doing?
I don't want to give you. I don't want to give you content because I don't like you enough.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
there's a whole part 1 of this episode.
You gotta
want me
work
to play
for
it
the
back?
yeah, but here's the thing, right? Like, I had a whole thing I was gonna say. I'm just gonna leave it alone. But anyway, so like you were talking to Jorge about like
How do I
his
say it
biggest
about-
transition of like moving
So
from
when-
like Florida
Yeah.
to New York,
When
right?
you visited,
Let's rub this in.
when you visited, how was that, John?
When I visited New York, I love visiting New York. I feel like
But do you think it's like it's a vacation? I don't really have to
no.
live here?
So I've always said this. I always grew up in the wrong place, right? Like my mentality and the way that I speak is a New Yorker. Like when you think of the stereotypical New Yorker, like and how
1000%.
direct I am. You talked about it in one of your previous episodes. Like we'll talk shit to you, but we'll help you, and you know that's me, right? You'll ask me for a favor, and I go, I don't want to fucking do it.
John will be the first motherfucker. If I call him at 1 a.m. saying,
Yeah.
"Yo, I got locked up," he's like, "You piece of shit!
You
What
piece
the
of
fuck?"
shit. But
He's
like-
putting his shoes on.
Yeah,
the whole
yeah,
time.
but I'm there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I'll talk shit to you. I have people will always say, John, you're from New York. I am not from New York, right? So when I go, I'm like, yo, I belong here. Every time I go, I'm like, this is where I'm meant to be. People ask me for directions when I'm there, right? I'm not from here. I just use an app on my phone and I make it look like I'm not a tourist, right? The transit app tells me where to go, right?
I've had Alex Moffat ask me for directions one time on the 2 train, and
It's not the
I gave him the
transient
wrong,
app.
I gave him the wrong directions.
Alex Moffat.
Yeah.
You gave him the wrong
I
directions.
gave him the wrong directions.
Why?
I didn't know.
Why didn't you just say you didn't know?
You don't say that.
I'm not. You're not gonna say.
You're gonna
You're
get
not
robbed.
You're not gonna fucking say that.
You're gonna get robbed.
You're not gonna say
You be like, no English.
that. No, because we had met previously at a show.
Damn.
I have great like little snippets with like me and Melissa Villasenor, Alex Moffat, a handful of other like UCB performers who've like done shit on SNL, and like Chloe Trost, who's recent. It's a lot of the cool shit that you get from like working tech, or just like being in that circle, that very big circle of performers and like improvisers and stuff with UCB. You get these like little stories of like working with people.
So you just want to put Alex Moffat on the show next week? Is that what we're doing?
I mean, if we can get Alex Moffat on here, that'd be fantastic.
I do digital.
I do.
Don't fuck with me. I do virtual. Don't fuck with me.
He did tell me one time, like being from Florida he was like, I was like, I'm sorry. It was like the second or third time we met, and I was like, hey, by the way, I'm so sorry that, like, as he was walking out, I was like, I'm so sorry that I gave you the wrong directions on that 2 train one time, and it took him a second, but he remembered, and he goes, oh, haha, and he's like, yeah, you dumbass, or something like that. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm from Florida, and he goes, that's not an excuse. And that has lived with me forever. I want to have like it's not an excuse tattooed above my beehole.
Why you point at your chest first?
But you said you pointed at your chest.
Well, because it would be great as a chest piece, but it would be even better as a beehole.
I mean, technically, the chest is still above his beehole.
That's right.
Mark.
That's right.
Like,
And we'll be right back.
Yeah. So New York to me feels like home when I go, and I do have family there. And my fiance is from there, so.
Oh wait, is she really?
Yeah.
Oh no way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that makes sense.
Yeah. Queens.
Yeah, that tracks.
So it's always felt like home, and even me and Arthur in our previous job, we did a project there, and it was great being there. Right, like you're from there, I'm not, but I don't mind taking public transportation anywhere I go. I was on the subway just like chilling, right. I went to the city. I saw Chris Rock just walking around, like just it was ridiculous. And it just for me it feels welcoming because I'm just very like I just want to go get my stuff and leave. Like I don't want to talk to people, and I can do that there. And if I do want to talk to people, there's people there that are willing to talk. I went to the Brooklyn Brewery and by myself.
Nice.
Met a Dominican guy that did not speak any English, and my Spanish is
was it Jake?
Right? Yeah, totally. I met Arthur there, right? And he was like, "Hey, I don't know any English. Can you translate what the tour guide's saying?" And I like roughly translated. And then he's like, "Hey, I want to order stuff. I don't know how to order." So he's like, "I'll buy you whatever you want." Bought me a bunch of flights. I got pretty trashed.
Yeah.
Like 11 a.m. like on a Tuesday, in Brooklyn.
I love this so much.
talk shit about Dominican.
This is such a New York City story.
It was like the coolest thing. He told me about his life, how he moved there. Then he told me how like he got caught cheating. and then
Yeah, he's Dominican.
yeah, and then
There it is.
And then he moved back in, and then he worked maintenance at an apartment building, which also tracks, right? Bought me a bunch of flights of beer. We drank a bunch of beer, and we had a great time. Don't ask me his name. Didn't get his number, and then I left, went to a food truck, got some tacos, and then went back to the hotel. That was my day.
I love that so
And
fucking much.
I feel like that was the most. And here's the thing: like, I got off a train, walked through like the most like when you watch like New York in TV shows on HBO, right?
Yeah.
People playing baseball in the springtime.
Yeah.
Right. Like this thing of New York that doesn't exist. Right. This like the safe New York.
Yeah.
Right. People were like playing baseball in short shorts and kickball, and I'm like walking around, I'm like, what is this? Trying to find the Brooklyn Brewery, and then I made it. They tell you the history. They talk about the Brooklyn Dodgers and all that stuff, right? And then when I leave, I went through the other part of Brooklyn because that's where we worked at, was the non-gentrified part of Brooklyn, right?
Yep.
I'll say that.
He'll say it.
And I felt more at home. I didn't feel safer, but I felt more at home because like the food was better, right? And there was like people that looked like me, right? And I felt at home, right? And I also felt at home because like, Arthur was there and we hung out, we did a bunch of stuff, and I got to see a lot of his like friends that he grew up with. But like New York and LA are special places to me, right? And I've always felt at home anytime I go to either of those places. And those will be two spots that I always tell people, I grew up in the wrong place. No disrespect to Orlando, but I was raised in the wrong city.
I remember moving to Orlando, and the very first thing I said was, "Y'all motherfuckers smile way too much." And then when living here for a decent amount of time, going back to New York, my friend's first thing is, "You're too fucking friendly now."
Yeah.
And it wasn't like you shouldn't be a nice person. It's, hey, we don't have time.
Yes, exactly.
John mentioned it on the episode from last week. It's not, New Yorkers aren't bad. They're not mean. They're not terrible people.
Right.
We're just busy.
Just busy.
We're kind. We're not nice. We're like Californians are nice but not kind.
Right.
We're like John. Perfect example. John will bitch and complain and tell you you're an idiot and say you ain't shit while he goes and helps you get out of jail.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
but he'll do it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Californians like, my thoughts and prayers with you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I understand. I sympathize.
Yeah.
I feel for you.
Let's
blah,
get
blah, blah.
brunch soon.
And when you're done with dealing with the actual problems in front of you that I could easily help you with, I can
Let
get
me
you
know.
for mimosas.
Oh my gosh.
And maybe some avocado toast.
And then
I'll even post about this because you're experiencing some things, and I think that everyone should shut up.
So sidebar, there's a couple people that we know that live in California.
Oh, I love them. They're not from.
We're
there,
not talking about you,
right?
They're not from there,
and you're not from there.
Those are fantastic human beings.
So Angie and Tony, we're obviously not talking about you.
No, Angie and Tony are fantastic.
You guys,
Matthew
you guys are
McConaughey,
great.
I also love him.
And obviously Tony, like you do the intro. So
no, they know that they're not the ones I'm talking about. I love both of them and Matthew McConaughey.
What?
Why
is Matthew McConaughey in this
I love
conversation?
you too.
All right.
He's one of the spokespersons for Wild Turkey.
I do love a good bourbon.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes
A
sense.
wild turkey is wild as my soul, my spirit. Speaking of spirits, wild turkey sounds delicious. Here's me clanking a drink.
You see? And I've never wanted. I have a bunch of Wild Turkey, and I've never wanted a Lincoln as much as he started driving it. All I'm saying is though, like when I moved down here. Shut up, John. When I moved down here.
You moved down here when you were like 25? 20?
Yeah, 25.
Okay.
26. I was old enough that John was like, this motherfucker's a hoodlum.
Yeah.
Like, when he met me.
Definitely.
One of the first things I said to John, and this was funny, I was like, hey, do me a favor and look at that candle holder. He's like, yeah. He picks it up. I was like, open it. Like, there's a bunch of money in here. He's like, cool. If I get in trouble and get locked up, that's where you get money to get me. And he's like, okay. And I looked at him and straight up, that didn't miss a beat. And if it's missing, I know who took it.
Jesus Christ.
So is that not a true story?
I didn't ask for that responsibility.
But is that not a true story?
No, it's 100% true. But here's the thing. Like, I didn't ask for that. Like, we were just hanging out. And you were like, we were talking about like movies and music.
No, we were going downtown.
He brought you into that inner circle.
And he's like, hey, by the way, you're going to be part of my inner circle. And you didn't consent to that. But like, if this money goes missing, it's your fault. And I'm like, how? Because I also knew like ways to get into your house. And you had also taught me that.
Ways.
And you're like, you get into my house this way, you get the money, and then you bail me out. But if the money's missing, it's your fault, and we're gonna have a fucking problem. And I was like, I didn't ask for the fucking problem. I didn't want there was.
You didn't even respond right away.
I did because I didn't ask for that, and I was like, what the fuck did I do?
And he was complete. I think I also threw you off the first. Like,
you did because I was like, bro, that's rude. First thing, like,
rude.
Yeah, first thing, rude.
Rude.
Second thing, you're giving me responsibility I didn't ask for.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's fair.
But then like later on, like
so with those responsibilities,
R.I.P. Peanut was like arguably the best dog. She had an issue with one of your roommates, and I was home, and you called me, and you were like, hey, I know you can get into my house without a key. I need you
to go lock her up,
to go make sure she's okay.
I need you to break into my house. Yeah, lock my dog up.
I went into your house. She growled at me for a second, realized it was me, and goes, "Oh, we're good." And then I put her away, and then I stole your money. I'm just kidding. I didn't steal your ass. Got your ass. Yeah, 5 years later, I took your money. No, but that's how I knew we were like really good friends because like he told me that, and I was like, "Well, that's crap." And then it's funny because like that's actually one of the nights. Because I know like you're gonna ask us a question soon, about like a drinking story that changed like the way that I partied. And we went to Wall Street, right?
Oh boy!
And with one of your New York friends.
Oh, that's soon. Wait, but we'll get there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I want to do it all at once. But then I remember visiting New York again after living here for an extended amount of time, and my friend said that there was a kind of a shift of like Southern hospitality almost. Where I was like, "Hey, good morning. How are you?" And my friends were like, "What are you doing?
What are you doing?" Yeah.
Nobody
says that.
And I said, "What the fuck is wrong with me?" And it was like there was two like personalities that were turning on for like the subject matter.
Yep.
Like, hey, I'm here in Florida. I have to be friendlier because because in my mind, you kept smiling at me because you needed something. You wanted something. You were up to something. You were up to no good when I came here. And I realized, no, motherfuckers here are just happier because it's sunny and not snowy and not busy traffic.
They have to deal with the fucking MTA.
They're nice, not kind.
Yeah.
And then when I go to New York, people are like, why the fuck are you smiling, motherfucker? Yeah. Like, the traffic's busy. Everyone's busy. I got shit going on.
The only times you're nice in the morning is that like in New York is like,
you just got
boss, let me get a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Oh, bro.
You wearing a wire?
Pepper and ketchup.
Yeah.
You wearing a wire?
Yeah.
That's it. And that's it. Yeah. Like, and you're like, cool. Thank you, boss. Have a great day.
No one's trusting that in the morning in New York. And so when I visited, people were like, this motherfucker's soft as hell. I was like, no, I'll still choke somebody. I'm just smiling about it. I'm smiling about the whole time.
No, I'll choke him.
I'd still choke him. I'll just go and smile about it. Good morning. But that was the weird transition going from like state to state was understanding that social dynamic where people were less receptive or more suspicious of friendly behavior in up north states. Suspicious. Where here, people were always kind of assuming. Don't see suspicious. People were assuming a lot of like, hey, you're from New York. This is surprising that you're a nice person.
Yeah.
You're. Shasta Savannah. You're. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to tell people if I stopped and smiled and talked to every single one of you, I would be 4 hours late to everything because New York is highly populated.
But you are late to everything.
Because
that's because he's brown.
I'm Dominican.
That's why I was late.
Have you never seen those meme videos where like a Dominican woman getting ready for work or getting ready to go out? It's a bunch of speakers. Those
aren't Dominican songs.
Okay.
No, but they still fucks with them.
Dale, don, dale. Dale con tu llave.
Babone.
Bro.
Yeah. Dominican.
All right, so guys, we did kind of hint on the joke. We've had way too much fun.
We're having a great time.
This is going to be a lot of fucking extra features, and anyone who's on Patreon is going to get access to
You're welcome. We're giving you like juicy meat for your Patreon money.
Pause.
I said what I said, and I'll say it again. We're giving you that.
The joke. This all started with. I'm never starting this. I'm never touching that again. What is the one wild drinking experience or spirit that you're like? Either I'm never going to do that again, I'm never touching it again. I'm going to start.
Okay.
To simplify this.
Yeah.
I will never fucking drink Absolute vodka ever again.
Really?
Ever again. If I smell Absolute vodka, we're done for the night. We're like the night's immediately over.
Absolutely.
What did
immediately
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I had to. I'm sorry.
Why did you say absolutely?
Absolutely.
God damn it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Come on. It was right fucking there.
Absolute vodka is probably vodka tastes like fucking nothing. It doesn't matter. It's not like but the moment someone, I could smell it. It's like the scent of a familiar fucking enemy.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
The fuck is that? Like, who opened Absolute Vodka in this house? Like, and it was.
Who let it? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Who's
It's like we could be in the middle of a conversation. Spider says singles. It's like, fuck. It's going to be a bad night, Tater.
Peter Tingle.
Peter Tingle. And it's, I was drinking with friends underage and Absolute Vodka was cheap. So you're like fucking in your 20s, whatever. I know I was of age, I think, but it was still cheap. Well, broke. Or still broke enough to like Absolute Vodka in 151. All I'm thinking about is getting from point A to point Z.
Christ, yeah.
As soon as I fucking
immediately,
can.
A to Z.
Yeah, it wasn't about the journey.
Right. Yeah. The destination was the journey.
Yeah.
Fuck,
so I'm drunk in Boston nightclubs with a bunch of like friends and cheerleader friends and all this stuff.
That's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome. Back in the car. And we were in the Boston Yard and we got ourselves some Dunkin', right?
How about them apples?
Fuck, I'd fuck some Dunkin' right now.
What?
I said what I said.
Like, you want donuts or like?
I said what I said.
Look, Night Owl Cookies is right up the block. We ain't even fucking around.
Wait, what's up the block?
Night Owl Cookies.
Fuck.
Yeah, focus. We're back here. Bring you back.
Want some cookies?
So I was out in downtown Boston drinking, and I just kept drinking with friends and blah. Got Chinese food late at night because in New York you get that, but Boston Chinese food is not as good. Sorry, fuck out Boston.
No, it's true.
And at some point, the last two drinks were shots of vodka, and you know when it's like the last two things you taste, and then when you wake up and you're like in snow. Covered in, yeah. There's a lot of things that happened that night that from that point, right? You see that face. John's making a face.
Hurts.
Your chest hurts, right?
There's a pain in my chest, and I can breathe.
I just know that I had to answer a bunch of questions, and thank God my name is Arthur. Because I probably would still be locked up if it was on Doodle because of what I did that night. I'm not going to do it on air, but I just got into a mess.
Bonus features. And
I got into a mess, and I remember going, I don't know what the fuck happened. It went down like water, but it came up like acid.
Yeah.
And the problem was that it didn't come up until all the bad damage was done. All the bad things happened, and I'm just like, Boston and me are never going to do this again. So Absolute Vodka. If you bring that into my house, you are no longer invited. John, what's yours?
Get that out of my house.
So you're part of this story, right? So, we talked about like when I knew earlier how I knew we were like boys because you made that comment about like, my money's missing. So we went out to Wall Street with one of your boys from New York out of town. Yeah. So like for me, like your question specifically is I'm never touching that again, right? So it's a drinking story that changed the way that you party. So never tell me how much I've drank, right? So we went out.
That is awesome. I remember that.
Yeah, so and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So we were at Wall Street, across from Hooch. It's like that tiki bar.
Oh, yeah, Waitiki.
Yeah, Waitiki. We had a bunch of Red Stripes and shots of Grey Goose. Do not ask me why we had shots of Grey Goose, but we did. And your boy, I don't remember what friend of it was, but we...
his name is Eric from... was one of the friends I made when I lived in Massachusetts for like 3 years.
Yeah, so Eric was in town, and you guys were very giving with the amount of alcohol that you guys were buying. Mm-hmm. I don't think I spent any money. Like, you picked me up and everything. We went there. I was like, oh, yeah, we've only had like 2 or 3 shots. And you're like, this is our 10th shot of Grey Goose. And we've had like 7 beers. And the second you told me how many shots we had, I immediately got drunk. Immediately.
Jorge.
I was fine. And then all of a sudden I was like,
what
do you mean? We've had 10 shots.
What do you mean reality?
Immediately. Like, no lie.
Jorge. The best thing is that when we pulled up, Eric and I have been friends for years.
Yeah.
And we know that we played football together. We did sports together. So we know, like, we drink.
Right.
Like, this isn't a, like, hey, it's a pound my chest. I'm a bigger drinker than you.
Right.
No, it's just, we drink.
We drink.
So when I pulled up and I was, hey, what's up? He's like, oh, I ordered shots. You want some? Yeah, bet. You order shots. He's in town. Hey, I got to treat you. So I'm ordering him shots. I think he had 2 friends with him. Yeah. And they're like, oh, we're in town too. Like, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for showing us a good time. They bought us shots. So within the first hour, 4 shots got poured.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were like back to back to back. And every time that the waitress came over, how Eric and I function is like, we don't want that lady to have to come by more than once.
Right.
So we'll get the shots and beer.
Yeah.
By the time we get back, I'll finish the beer. So
Right.
now we're speeding through the beer.
Jesus Christ.
And it's just how him and I function. But the thing is, it's not just John. I don't know if you remember this part of it. His friends were not expecting this.
No.
So Eric and I are like, fine.
Right.
And his friends are like, this is crazy.
I was fine until like right before we left.
Yeah.
Because then you told me, right? And then at the time, like the girlfriend that I was dating, like which wasn't a good relationship, he told me how much we drank. Immediately I got drunk and I called her and was like, I hate you.
Holy shit.
I hate you so much. And then we're in a parking garage and then like I peed in a corner.
That really happened. I was there for that.
And then I just started like cursing her out and I was like, I hate being with you.
Bro,
right?
I could do a walking tour of all the places I've pissed in downtown.
Yeah. It's probably a lot of places. Especially because you
wash your hands when you go downtown.
You know, so like, yeah, do not. If you want me to have a good time and you want me to keep partying with you, do not tell me how much we've drank.
Do not face you with reality.
Yeah, do not give me reality because
do not.
I was fine. Right? You're like, oh man, we've only had like 3 shots. And you're like, oh, we've had 10. Oh, like that does not make sense to me.
I looked at him and I was like, bro, you didn't see the bill. I know we had 10.
and then it just like, it smacked me in the face.
Yeah.
And we were in our 20s, right?
Right.
Granted,
and that was over a course of like 2-3 hours.
I am 39 now. I was in my early 20s.
And I was heavier.
Right? So I was like,
think that was when I was chunky still then, right?
Probably.
Yeah, I think I was still thick.
Right?
Probably. Yeah.
So I thought I was fine.
You weren't.
Yeah.
And I was not fine. And then you told me, and then I was like, so that's always been a thing. Do not tell me. Right?
What?
If you give me drinks, do not tell me how strong they are. Don't tell me what they are.
Yep.
Don't tell me, I don't know why, because I'm just not thinking about it. Then all of a sudden I started thinking about it, and I was like, this is horrible. I hate this. I feel like crap. I want to go home. Why am I here? Why are these, everything. I started questioning everything.
Yeah.
Right?
We got a lot to unpack on bourbon and like therapy.
Yeah, bourbon and therapy, right?
Bourbon and therapy.
That's bonus features, right? So that's the $30 Patreon level is the bourbon and therapy.
Bourbon and therapy.
So
it's hidden behind like a fucking user agreement.
So Grey Goose shots, and don't tell me how many.
To be fair, you're right.
Insane.
I did ask what's changed the way you drink. I will tell you that the thing I've changed about how I drink is very, very specific. I am a planner because drunk me will remember the plan. Because sober me, it will create the plan. Drunk me might deviate, but he knows the steps to get where I'm trying to get. He knows I need to get to Z.
Yeah.
But sober me is like, I have all these like, hey, if you fuck up and go left, I have a plan for that.
Right.
So, drunk me is like, I don't know how I ended up at Wendy's because I programmed it into your phone, drunk you.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of like corralling cats. So now I do a lot more of the like, I will get out before let out because I know less traffic. So if I swerve a little bit, well, back in the day, I'm an adult now. I don't do that.
Yeah.
Drink responsibly. But back in the day, if I did something stupid, like get out before let out. Don't drink when everyone's like last call. That's not me.
Yep.
Y'all could have last call. That's fine. I'm going to go get a Wendy's before the line's there, or I'm going to order Domino's to meet me at the house. So I became a much more of a planner.
That's huge.
That's huge. So by the time it is full-fledged, I am out of pocket drunk. Right. I am home with Wendy's. Not a Wendy.
Right.
Wendy's.
Multiple Wendy.
Mm-hmm.
I could fuck with
someone very proud to have rather woken up next to Spicy Nuggets than some lady named Bethany.
Holy shit. Bro, I would love to wake up next to Spicy Nuggets.
Spicy Nuggets sound good right now.
Bro, I'm not mad at Spicy Nuggets.
I am. You know what?
Are we about to get Wendy's?
I'm not driving.
I think we're about to have a field trip.
Night owl cookies and?
Not it.
Not it. I have to be it because I'm bigger than both of you.
That's true.
What about you, Jorge? What has changed the way you drink?
So I think
especially as a DJ, because yours is going to be a different dynamic altogether. Because people are buying you shots all day.
Yes,
to just play who let the dogs out on rotation.
Fine, I guess. Once I moved to New York, I stopped DJing as much, and so my tolerance went down by a lot. But the biggest thing it's probably like overarching. The reason I was pulling this up on my phone. So I was doing one of those Wall Street nights. It was a Halloween costume contest, and this was my first one. And one of the sponsors for Wall Street was Jägermeister. Oh, and so part of that, yeah, you both know. part of that sponsor was like, we had to drink Jaeger on stage in front of me, like, and tonight's brought to you by Jägermeister. And then like the Jaeger girls would come out with like the chilled shot glasses of Jaeger and everything. And I did so much fucking Jaeger. And I 1,000% blacked out. And I don't remember almost any of this. But there's a photo of me blacked out in a porta potty, which I'm showing you right now.
Send me that.
There's a photo of me blacked out in this porta potty.
That's gross.
And so again, yes, I know. I'm co-hosting with Corndog, and I don't remember if he put this on Facebook or I think he did. And his mom commented, "Oh, that poor girl."
Not the poor girl. I mean, you have heels on.
It's because I had these are women's heels that I got from Ross for this Prince costume.
What size?
I'm an 8.5 in men's, and I think that makes me a 10 in women's.
There you go. That part.
But yeah, I'm 1,000% like passed out in this fucking porta potty. And he put that up on Facebook, and she was like, "Oh, that poor girl." And once I recovered from that, like 48 hours later, I was like, I'm never taking Jaeger again, or if I do, I know that is the end all be all, and I need to stop immediately.
Right. I'm gonna tell you one thing. It's a dirty secret. Jaeger is actually good with margaritas.
That's gross.
Jaeger with margaritas?
A Jaegerita is actually really good. So
hey,
Jaeger is meant to...
Come here. Fuck you.
No, I'm dead serious. I made it.
No. Fuck you.
I made it.
No.
I promise.
No, I don't believe that.
I promise.
I don't believe it.
I'm gonna go look if I have it.
You're telling me that the earth is flat, and I'm like, no.
So I have another story. One more.
All right.
So I was in Puerto I was in Puerto Rico. Family member. Angie's great grandmother fell and got sick. She was like in her 90s. So I went to go visit her, and I hadn't been to Puerto Rico in almost 15 years. So it was like a big thing for me to go to Puerto Rico. And I told everybody, I know we're here for a depressing reason, and I'm only here for 4 days. I just want to eat and drink, right? And her cousin was like, say less, right? Papi, I got you. So
don't say that to us.
So I'm trying to be polite, right? Because I've never met this guy.
Yep.
So we are in San Juan. We're going to all the bars. Then he took me to like the non-local bars. Starts buying me shots, and I'm like, I'm buying him shots, right? I'm trying to be polite.
Yeah.
And then he buys me shots, and then I buy him shots, and then he buys me shots, and then we just keep going back and forth, and then he's buying me drinks. Then we're in his car, and then we're driving back, and I had made a joke about one of his family members.
No, he's falling asleep, and he's taking a drag.
There you go. Fucking Mr. Brightside. So he had like a sling bag, and at the time I was being like stereotypical like idiot guy, like, oh, you have a purse, right? Mm-hmm. He opens the purse.
There's a gun,
There's a gun in there, right? That's all he had in the purse. So I like did not run my mouth to him ever again.
Correct.
So then everybody had to go to the bathroom. So we stop off at some random beach bar. Don't ask me where I was, because I know we were in San Juan, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Everybody, some of them decided to go into the bar. I go to the beach and I just pee somewhere, right? Everybody leaves. I walk through the bar, and the bartender stops me and in perfect English goes, "You guys use my bathroom? You owe me money."
Jesus Christ.
And I look at the bartender, and I was like, I don't know you. Get mad at them. I peed outside. He's like, your friends owe me money. And I was like, don't touch me, right? Because he started touching me. And then I saw the uncle walking back up, grabbing the purse, and I was like, oh my God, this guy's going to do something stupid. I need to leave, right? So I don't know what I said to this guy, but I don't remember, because I was like, whoop.
Yep.
He turned around and walked away, right? And I got in the car, and I was like, we need to go. And I explained what happened. And I was like, no, I got you. And I was like, I know. That's why we got to go. I don't know what happened the rest of the night. I woke up the next day, and then I went to go meet her grandfather that I had never met. I was hungover, and he offers me a Coors Light.
Hair of the dog.
And I don't have
the dog didn't help.
Hold on, and I don't have a problem with Coors Light, but at the moment I did, right? Until recently, I couldn't drink Coors Light. He hands me a small Coors Light and goes, "You want to drink?" So I pounded it, and I was like, "Cool." He's not going to ask me if I want another one. Asked me if I wanted another one.
Idiot.
It's like 10:30 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
He hands me another one, and I was like, "Oh."
That's why you started with a Coors Light.
Yeah.
It's
I was
10.
like,
Can I say though?
It's a breakfast of beers.
Coors Light is if you're in Colorado, I think it's Denver, like where their brewery is.
Yes.
It is the nectar of the fucking gods. Coors Light from the source is incredible. Anywhere else, dog shit.
pretty much. So yeah, I drank that second one. I sipped on it, and then I told myself I am never going to tell any of my family members that I want to drink and eat. Because we did eat a lot of empanadas, a lot of bacalitos. But when I mean that we drank, and we drank pitoro, like we drank a lot of stuff that like I don't even remember half the stuff I drank. But I know now that I'm like kind of scarred. And when I was in Puerto Rico last year, Tony's dad was like, "Oh yeah, have some beers," and just kept buying me beers and beers and beers and beers and beers and beers, and we're like 12 beers in. Jesus. And I was like, I don't want to drink anymore.
I'm so full.
But I'm a guest in their house,
yep.
And I don't want to be rude. So then I just had to pretend, right? Yeah, I had to pretend. You know, you walk to the bathroom with your drink, right? Then you come back, and it's empty.
Drink's empty,
right?
Drink's empty.
Like that's a thing,
bro. I've done that so many times.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Such a move,
and it's not disrespectful.
Have you ever done that to one of my drinks?
I said a beer.
Okay, just making sure.
No.
Yeah. I wouldn't do it to like a crafted cocktail. That you
First thing, that was like probably like a $45 drink, right? I just tell you I don't want to drink anymore. And then if you pour it, after that, that's your fault.
That one's on you.
But I will tell you, I don't want to drink anymore. And you're like, that's fair, right?
I'll never.
Right? But like if you're pushing it, that's your fault.
Yeah, no.
Like, here, drink this.
Have I ever?
You, a pusher?
In my 30s.
As adults, so there you go. As adults, no. When we were just going out all the time, absolutely.
You weren't driving, bitch.
It doesn't matter. I got stuff to do. I got things to do. You say I run from my problems. I'm trying to run so I can be healthy, right? Because like
you're the problem.
I have high cholesterol and high blood pressure in my family, right? So like that's hereditary, right? So I have to fight that every day. So when you ask, why do you run? Because I don't want to die young.
I have to fight that every day.
I have to fight that every day. That's not my fault.
Oh my god.
That's my bloodline's fault. I have a bad bloodline.
All right. So this has been a very traumatic episode.
Yeah, they really have.
It's like a silver spoons or silver. All right, wait. What?
I like spoons.
Family Matters show episode. It's like a very special Family Matters episode.
Yeah.
You're ridiculous.
It's true. It's a little dramatic.
A little bit.
A little traumatic.
It was supposed to be funny. I was supposed to play like comedy shit.
I love all of this.
Trauma.
All right, last, but we're going to go a little bit of like the less serious.
Okay.
So we went through I'm Never Touching It Again. Soundtrack to My Life. The song that you love to play while for you personally, like you want to play this on your own DJ. Like this is going to make it to every mix that you have.
Yeah.
Somehow or some way. And for John's going to be about running. But what's one song you will, I'm going to sneak this bitch in.
It's tough. That's tough because like part of me wants to be like, oh, like I'm a DJ. So like here's this deep cut that I like to throw in there. But like also I'm a DJ and my job is to make people like get up and dance and move and like hear
people
something.
Aren't there yet. They want you work it into.
Yeah. They want to hear something and be like, yo, that's my fucking jam. Okay. I hate that this is my answer, but like the one that comes to mind is Party Rock anthem.
LMFAO?
Yes, because it's been
because you guys look like that.
It's been 15 years since that song came out, something like that. It's been that fucking long, so nobody really thinks about it anymore. But like it's one of those where they go, oh shit, and it's also like a just an immediate switch to like we're partying now. This is the jam, and so if I can like. It's not even about like slipping that in because it's almost always going to be in.
Pause.
That's not what I said.
Crazy.
If I phrased what I phrased, that's
one
like
of the dirtiest episodes that weren't about anything dirty we've ever had.
I love to slip that. I love to slip that in. Obviously, if I can do some Prince, if I can throw in like a dance remix of some like Prince songs and stuff, I'm going to do that. But like to get people going, to get people like in that mood, if I can work my way into Party Rock. For me?
Yeah, it's a you. It's not about them right now.
For me, then it's going to be if I can do like a Chromeo track.
Who?
Chromeo. You don't know Chromeo?
No, he talks about Chromeo all the time.
Fuck this guy.
You're just lame because you don't know who Chromeo is.
So Chromeo is a funk duo that do like dance music and have like really like kind of taken off since like early 2010s or whatever. Fancy footwork. I love a good Mama's Boy, which is really good. They've got Jealous, I Ain't With It, Come Alive, which are
I'm pretty sure if I heard them I would be like,
so they like they're just an incredible funk duo. They're if I could say they quote unquote do their homework with like music and funk and like digging in crates. Do you know the DJ A-Track?
Yeah.
One of the two in Chromeo, Dave One. That's his brother.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well,
fun fact.
I know.
Right, so
Dave One and A-Track are brothers, and then P-Thug or Patrick Gemail is the
So
other
you
one.
would slip that in.
I'll slip in some Chromeo because like it's Chromeo tracks are really, really dancey. Excuse me, they're really dancey. They're not really, really dancey. So if I can kind of like weasel it in into like a dance mix and stuff like that, then I'll absolutely do it. And that makes me happy. And then like anybody who knows Chromeo will be like, oh shit, it's Chromeo, pointing at wherever the fuck I am.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if I can slip in some Chromeo, which you can't do all the time because they're not as well known as, let's say, LMFAO or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not as well known, but like if you know, and it's always a good time. It's such a good track.
Because I won't lie to you, if I was a DJ, I would always sneak in some shit for me.
Yeah.
I would go out of my way. Even if it's like right when the club is starting to get up, then I'm still starting it.
I mean, I play stuff that I like to hear, and it just so happens that like the stuff that I like to hear is stuff that everybody else wants to hear too.
No, look at you all popular.
I've almost
from incel to mainstream.
From incel to mainstream, the story of Jorge. That's my autobiography. Please buy it on Amazon.
Do you have an audiobook?
Self-published.
I narrate it.
It's just me and you just yelling at each other.
We're just screaming at one another.
Chapter 1, I was born.
Chapter 1, here I am, rock you like a hurricane.
Stop it.
No, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop.
John, what's your go-to favorite song to run to?
No. I was kidding.
By Megan Trainor?
So, like, it just
That's the
depends.
song.
Like, so obviously when I run with a group, I don't listen to music.
By yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So when I'm by myself, it just depends on the day, right? Right now, obviously the new Bad Bunny album is what I'm listening to. The whole thing.
Really?
The whole thing, because I can run like maybe 6-ish miles, maybe a little bit more, and listen to the whole album. If I'm doing a speed workout, I don't want any slow songs. Right? So like Usher tends to not happen. But a lot of times, to be honest, like when I'm running, I listen to a lot of like, audiobooks or podcasts. But I can listen to Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar anytime I'm running. And I feel like any of those songs will just keep me going as I'm running. And The Art of Peer Pressure is arguably one of the greatest songs of all time. And I will argue anybody that says otherwise. But yeah, slow music. I can't listen to slow music when I'm doing a speed workout. Any type of slow. It doesn't matter what genre. I can't listen to any slow music.
Okay.
When I'm doing speed play.
Speed play.
That's what it's called.
Phrasing.
Phrasing.
I don't know how I feel about that. I think so. For me, like I talked about it with the Justin episode with music and what I like to listen to. But there is a group that I listen to, not necessarily quietly, like not like I'm hiding it, but not something I really always talk to people about. Is Highly Suspect.
Okay.
And I listen to Deftones, old school Deftones.
Really?
Like Cherry, yeah. So they're on my like lifting playlist. So you would see my big Hispanic ass walk into the gym and just start listening to some like pretty interesting rock / like emo shit. I don't know what the fuck to define it as, because sometimes Deftones can be really weird.
Right.
And I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about? I don't care. I enjoy every single minute of it.
Right.
And I could probably sing Passenger by myself and not miss a beat, and people would look at me like, this motherfucker should be listening to Don Omar. But
Danza Kuduro!
Yeah, but I enjoy their shit the most. Like I will listen.
Really?
Highly Suspect, I was put on by our friend Rock. You know what I'm talking about. She sent me this band, and since then I've listened to their shit on heavy rotation.
Yeah.
Like I have them so much on my playlist that on like Spotify Wrapped, it's like, hey, their concert's coming. I would never go to a concert. I don't like people.
Yeah.
But sure as shit, I will listen to, like, if you go to the bottom of my playlist is going to be that new Ren stuff, Cherry Waves by Deftones, DMX, Nirvana.
DMX, of course.
Like Rain Wolf. Like you'll see like some random rock, but then there's a section of it's just like.
Do we all have those privacy screen protectors on our phones?
Yeah,
we do.
That's
so Highly Suspect all over like that.
so good.
Well, the reason why I have it is because of my nature of my business.
Yeah.
I don't need someone being like, oh, HR, he's a human being. Like, I need you to think I'm a robot.
I'm just on the
bitch.
subway all the time. I don't want people looking at my shit, like no matter what it
I'll
is.
let people on subway see my dick pics.
Yeah, exactly.
That checks out. Like, you don't want people looking at your shit.
I don't want people looking at my shit.
Also, another thing, when a lot of the music I listen to, I go to my like songs, and I'll just, depending on what I'm into, you'll just see, like right now, right? One of the Bad Bunny, there's like 2 or 3 Bad Bunny songs in my like songs, right? Then The Whispers, Rocksteady, the old school Rocksteady. Like, you have to look it up. I don't want to play any music that's copyrighted on your podcast.
Please
It's like, right? And then Chappelle Rowan, Good Luck Babe. Katy Perry and Doechii, I'm His, He's Mine. Denial is a River by Doechii. Pink Toes by Gambino. Nissan Ultimo by Doechii. Balloon with Tyler the Creator featuring Doechii, because Doechii, like, right now is like super hot. Mark Anthony, more Bad Bunny. The Smiths. Oasis, Wonderwall. Shallow by Lady Gaga.
Really?
Kiss
Wonderwall.
Me More. Yeah.
You know what's
The Prayer, Kid Cudi. So, like, it depends. So, like,
yeah.
I get in moods.
Bro.
And then
I'll get moods.
very different playlist.
Yeah, and then I'll just be running, and I'm like, I don't know. And I was like,
You know
skip
what
it.
song not randomly, we saw this horror movie starring the Foo Fighters. And because of them, like Rosanna and I watched this comedy horror movie like featuring like the Foo Fighters, obviously. I rediscovered Everlong, and that's become like heavy rotation again. I've always known that song.
Yeah.
But you know when, like, why did I stop listening to them?
I don't know if I started a band, but like I'm in a band in New York where I'm the drummer, and so like a lot of times we'll just like send songs or whatever to each other, like, oh, let's cover this, let's do this or whatever. So I'm constantly always thinking, like, whenever I'm listening to like a rock song on Spotify, I'm like, oh, would this be a cool song to like cover? And one of the songs that comes to mind is, like, now that you mentioned Foo Fighters, is Queens of the Stone Age, a song called Song for the Deaf. And it is so goddamn good. And that's like, I'm constantly thinking of like that, or like System of a Down, or like even like Linkin Park songs and stuff, like Giving Up and everything, just shit that just goes in. Stuff that I would never DJ, but like I love to fucking listen to.
Like, I always get weird looks when I tell people, like, yeah, I listen to Deftones. Seven Dust is one of my favorite
because you don't
bands.
look it that way.
I know.
I don't know what accent that was, but like,
I don't know what that was, but I'm very proud of. I'm happy whatever you.
But you don't
I
look that way.
accept you for whatever that was.
You know what? Gracias.
I tell people I listen to Seven Dust, and I've had like almost
Holy
every single
shit!
one of
I
their
haven't thought
albums.
about Seven Dust in a while.
I've owned almost every single one of the albums that they've had, or they're
Really?
always on my liked.
Yeah.
Because I haven't Spotify's made it so I don't buy albums, but they're like heavily like, hey, this is just a pocket of shit that I listen to when no one's in the car.
Right.
And like every once in a while it slips. Rosanna's in the car, and you just hear like,
Nobody get out tonight. What the fuck is this?
Let me put on my Kendrick playlist. Not because like she wouldn't care, because that's what I like, but I want to make sure that it's the right mood. Like, you know, you talk about music, we talk about music setting a like tone for shit. Like, I don't want to go to her family's house and I'm just like there to rage. All right. Well, guys, we are getting to the tail end of our episode. We're about to go get Night Owl cookies, not a sponsor. And we're going to go ahead and get some spicy chicken nuggets right after this. So first and foremost, Jorge, where can people find you? Any words? I know we want to talk about Hey Roommate comedy.
Yeah.
You didn't really talk too heavy about it, but you know what? Fuck it. Let's take a break and go ahead and we'll talk about it when you get back.
Okay.
Be right back, guys.
Hey guys, while you're listening to the show, we know that you might want to partake in some drinks with us and enjoy the libations. Here at Bourbon and Bullshit, we ask that you drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive, avoid Amazon one-click buy, and for the love of God, do not text your ex. You do not need that kind of closure. They've moved on, so should you, Joseph. You should stop Facebook stalking. She knows. She knows. Now, all jokes aside, don't do anything dumb, take care of yourselves, and be safe. Thanks, guys. Now back to the show.
All right, guys, this is exclusively all bonus features right now. So we are going to pour up some more Pitorro. Some more, not more. We're pouring Pitorro from Lugo's Craft Distillery of here in in Florida, but Lakeland, Florida. We've interviewed them recently. This bottle was bottled in 2024. It's a 45 alcohol, ABV, so 90 proof. Puerto Rican rum / kind of a moonshine, but this is going to taste a lot like coconut. It's their coconut, coconut finish when they have different options. There's a dulce de leche, there's a coffee, there's a couple other ones. Straight quality, but John bringing up Pitorro earlier made me want to hand him this in a man purse.
Even though I literally said like I had a bad time, it was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
We made a drink with this, and it was like kind of my own rendition of a tropical old fashioned, a tiki old fashioned. I'm mad because I went too extra, and now it's almost insanely hard to remake every time. So what I do is I do a coconut ice cube, take coconut water, like like to go fucking bind actually. Yeah. Make ice cubes, 6 of them, whatever. But like I'll make an old fashioned with lime bitters, the pitoro, a little bit of the spiced rum, in some orange bitters, and I make a cane sugar simple syrup just to make it like a little off. One of the best drinks I've ever made. Pisses me off.
Ooh, that's
because it basically takes 4 days of planning to make this thing. Because I gotta go buy coconut water, right? Like we don't have it.
I hope you're listening. We need this at home.
Yeah, I get mad because every time I was like, I want to make this, I don't have coconut ice cubes because the drink changes as you go through.
Next time you go here, let me know.
Lakeland, Florida.
I'm never in Lakeland, but
I'm never in Lakeland.
Yeah, but we should like make it happen.
Yeah, we can make it a group, make it a TK thing, make it an event. I don't give a shit. We'll go.
I don't care about anybody else. Dude, I could just go.
Motherfucker, you have the newest car. Let's go.
Oh, you do have the newest car, don't you?
Savannah has the newest car.
Why did you somehow still get out of driving? Like, it's hypothetical.
You want me to drink or not?
What's hers is yours. Your fiance's.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to drive. You want me to drink?
That's fair.
Right? You want me to have a good time?
If you're dead serious, I'll call him and tell him I'm going here with friends.
Yes. I would love to. When you did the episode, I was like, I want to go here.
Yeah, let's go. Get TK. Put a TK. Actually, make a TK event. So this way,
I don't care about everybody else.
Okay, make the 4 people that matter in TK.
Fine. The other 2 people. No, I'm just kidding.
I want Crystal there. And Philly.
But nobody likes Philly. Damn. No, I'm just kidding. Philly's cool.
Crystal's my homie. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, Philly cooks for me. So
it's cool too. Shit, this is a TK event.
Somebody cooks for me, then I have to be
all it
respectful.
takes is just fucking, I'll make you waffles and you give the
cooking is intimate.
Just not blue waffles.
Waffles isn't really that intimate. Jesus, did we really go back to that? Like, no, I think cooking is a very like intimate and like sacred thing. So if somebody's cooking you like a full like dinner, that means a lot.
What about making you a full ass drink?
I mean, for you, yeah, that would
Brian does it too.
Yeah, same thing. It's the same category.
What if he makes you a LimeWire playlist?
What year are we talking about?
LimeWire?
Like, did he make me a mixtape?
Yeah, he made you mixtape.
Like on a cassette, like a B-side,
no, a CD.
No, a CD. He burned a CD.
CD.
CDR.
He burned a CD.
CDR. Not an RW.
No, not an RW. It's CDR. RWs are too expensive.
Yeah.
Do I have anti-skip protection on my Walkman?
Yeah.
You
do. What year? Do I have a Zune?
No.
Fuck, I miss Zune. Zune was so good.
You had a single mom. You have a Zune. What's wrong with you?
I didn't. Like, that's rude.
Oh, wow, goddamn, dude.
Like, why did you say that?
In this scenario, we have single moms. What's wrong with you?
But we all did.
Exactly. So we didn't have Zunes.
I had a Zune.
Really?
Yeah, but my white girlfriend gave it to me.
Oh, that's some bullshit. That doesn't count.
You didn't have an iPod Shuffle?
No. Since this is on Patreon.
Somehow I got one.
No, I did have eventually an iPod Shuffle, but that's because I fucking worked at a video game store and sold Pokemon cards.
You stole it.
That's right. You did, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You stole it.
Wow.
The video game card?
Bro, I'm playing a bunch of like
well, we are bouncing around.
Pokemon Pocket.
Focus. Motherfucker. We'll go as a group to Lugo's Craft Distillery.
Yes.
We'll make that happen.
Yeah, I would love to go.
I want to hear about Hey Roomy comedy.
Okay.
Ooh. What the fuck? Where did this come from?
Where the fuck?
Yeah.
So I think I mentioned it earlier, but so my writing partner and I, Peter Collier, we took the same sketch writing class at UCB in 2019, and our origin is we both came in one day with sketches that were about lead singers of like 2000s rock band. So he came in with one about Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day, and I came in with one from Scott Stapp from Creed. And yeah, I know. Fucking Jesus Christ. And so we both came in with these dumb fucking sketches, and it wasn't like, okay, next week I need you guys to come in with a sketch about like a 2000s rock band or whatever. Like, it had nothing to do with that. We just coincidentally came in with that, and we both like sort of locked eyes and were like, you're the person I need to be friends with. And ever since then, we've in some form or another have been in a writing group, and now it's just the two of us for the most part. And then we a couple sketches where we realized we were doing like our lead in for our our relationship together in these sketches was like, oh, hey roommate, and that was it. And then that just kind of became the thing, and that was like kind of the running joke is like people will ask, are you guys actually roommates? And we're like, I don't know, are we? Yes, no. The answer is no. We've never been roommates, but we people think we are, which is fun.
Wow, that's rude. Why'd you have to like say that?
What?
You ruined the whole fantasy.
Ruined the fantasy?
You could have just lied.
Yeah.
Look, comedy is all about being truthful and like laying yourself bare. And the last thing we want to do is like get a joke on a false pretense. You know what I mean?
The whole series is a false pretense.
Yeah, everything we do is a lie. So we. So we've been putting out content for, I want to say, like the better part of like 4-ish years now, maybe even 5. We had I hate me too. And we had a live show. We had 2 live shows very recently. We're hoping to do some more upcoming. And then I also have another show that's called Spell Check, which is a spelling bee game show that we bring on comedians to spell words, but it's also kind of like a you laugh, you lose challenge. And that's with a good friend, Michael Sankey, who
I saw that.
He is an incredibly funny writer, and he writes for, I want to say, one of the UCB's house mod teams. So I know that there's like Herald teams, mod teams, there's Betty teams. I don't exactly know which is which. Like, I don't know which is improv. I don't know which is sketch. I don't know which is characters. I should, being somebody who works at UCB. But at this point, it's one of those, like, it's been so long that I'm too afraid to ask. So we're there now.
Wow. That's rude.
Either way, he's
I've thought of 3 times in my lifetime. We're off air.
Yeah. But he's a very, 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 very funny and does the brunt work for the show. I do a lot of the production stuff. If you're listening to this and you're like, oh, that sounds maybe like Taskmaster, good. That's what we're trying to do. There's a British comedy show called Taskmaster that we've built this show, Spell Check, loosely around, where there's something to hold on to, and then there's one weird person, me, who's like, yep, I'm here to just spell words, and I'm here to adjudicate the English language because I love the English language so much. So let's get down to business and begin spelling these words.
I wonder if anyone else is wondering if you know what's going on, because you said you're not sure which one's the improv, the sketch, or anything. I wonder if anyone else is like,
I want to say, hold on. I want to say that Mod is sketch, Harold is improv, and Betty is character. That is my final answer.
I want it to be all wrong and everyone judging you the whole time.
I'm actually like 99% sure that that's correct.
Drinking you is fails is 99?
No, that like drinking / over me is correct. Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so
it sounds like a lot of fun to be doing these kind of things with someone you like somehow kismically connected with.
It is, yes, you're 1,000% right. Having the same sort of
frame of reference and mind frame.
Frame of reference is this like this mindset of comedy with Peter is like a blessing, because so our writing days will start like an hour and a half of just like each other giving each other therapy. Like, there's no joke, there's no funny. We're just like, how are you doing? He's like, well, this week fucking sucked. And I'm like, lay it on me, brother. And then we'll kind of like we'll trade places a little bit, and then eventually we'll be like, all right, so you want to write something funny, and then we'll go from there, and we'll write something dumb and funny that like takes 20 minutes to record. It's the video itself is like 30 seconds, which is sort of like our sweet spot. Like, we get in there, here's a dumb premise, here's a dumb joke, and we're done. You know, that's our thing. And then our live shows are very much like Key and Peele coded, where we'll come out on stage, we'll do a little bit of hosting, we'll do a thing, and it's really setting up for a video that we've already recorded. Okay. And we'll kind of like toss to that, and then we'll come back out. And we did that a bunch of times. So that was super successful and like very fun. We got a lot of great feedback from it. And not even like, oh, here's things you could change or whatever. But honestly, it was just like, we loved every second of it. Please do more. Which is like great stuff that you can hear. A lot of times, like in whatever you're doing, whenever you're putting yourself out there, you want to get criticism. You're like, what can I change? What can I do better? And then hearing like, what you did was great, do more of that, is weird to a certain extent.
It's like when you apply for a job, get an interview, and it's like, I loved everything about you.
Don't change anything, but we're going with somebody else.
Don't change, but we're going with somebody else. God fucking damn it!
But you're not the first choice.
Yeah, you're not our first. We went in a different direction.
Our third choice.
It's really frustrating because we already had a choice in mind, and we wasted your goddamn time. What?
Yeah. Well, that happens. That happens, but not in the show context.
But it does sound like that's a fantastic premise too. Like you've already pre-recorded something, you do the Key and Peele kind of spell, but even then the spelling one sounds funny too.
So that
what I saw online was hilarious.
Thank you. That show, and like you haven't seen anything yet because with that, like what you saw online was from our first show that we did. I want to say 2 years ago at Caveat. We just did this show at.
You said you're a sound and video guy. Why is there not more newer stuff?
Well, because okay, this is a look behind the curtain, but that show was successful by and large, but the space that we were in was like, you didn't sell enough tickets. We're not gonna let you do another one, like without a ton of whatever.
Wow.
And yeah, and that like really fucking sucked. So that took the wind out of our sails. And then also Michael is like a very good writer and is like constantly writing and constantly doing characters and constantly performing and in some form or another. So like there was one hand, like he got busy. I also got busy just trying to survive with work, yada, yada. But just that getting that kind of feedback from the venue, even though we did by and large do a successful show, really kind of sucked. So now we're at UCB, where Sankey is, like I said, like a writer and performer on like a house team. I work there as a tech, so it's kind of like built in. Like, yeah, give us the fucking slot. And so they did, and we knew what we had to build on. We knew what we had to work on. I did a ton of like the technical stuff, a lot of like the game showy elements, like sound and lights and like cues and stuff like that, which was like ended up being super successful. So that, along with everything that Michael wrote with like the words, the jokes, the tangents, just made a really fucking fun show. And I shit you not, I cried laughing twice separately in that show. Nice. And like it was great to have a crowd there, like of people who just came in from the street, basically, because it's UCB. People are going to come in and be like, oh, what's the show? All right, yeah, I guess we'll see it. And so just having these random people in the audience who also were like vested in this show, this game show, was really fucking cool. It was a nice turning moment of like, oh, right, that's why I'm here. That's why I moved. Like, this is cool. Let's keep this going and see where it goes.
Kind of reaffirming like every sacrifice you've made. And every time you've like, hey, I don't know if I'm sure about this. I don't know what I want to do. And then you're like, yeah. And
for the last, like, if I'm being real, for the last like 2-ish years, that has been like a thing I've talked with my therapist is like, what did I move for? Like, all I'm doing is surviving. Like, I'm working my ass off and surviving so I can pay rent and so I can pay bills and just like have, just live. Right. But am I actually doing anything that is making me feel better creatively, that is making me feel better like as a comedian, as a writer? And so having this show along with the stuff that Peter and I do, like two very different things, but like scratch very similar itches, if that makes sense, has really kind of affirmed like, oh, I'm on the right path. Like, keep doing that and see where this goes. Pull this string, see where it goes. And like the time that I've put into this is not time wasted.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. It should never be perceived like that. Because regardless of what you get right now, it's building a block for something else.
Right. But like for so long, especially like genuinely post-COVID and everything, where like everything was so fucking tough and everything was so up in the air, and you watch your entire career kind of evaporate before your eyes. There was a huge sort of like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, when do I move back? Like, what's next? Like, none of the. So, New York City is fucking hard, but part of the agreement, the quote unquote agreement you make with New York City is like, I'm going to eat shit and live in a tiny fucking apartment and deal with rats and deal with roaches and deal with like no heat or no cold or whatever, because I have access to all of these other creatives and I have access to all of these other like institutions that I'm trying to do. Like, that's the agreement that I make. When those things disappear and you still have to deal with rent, you still have to deal with rent and all the bullshit that you have to like just drudge through, it makes it really tough to justify any of it. So I'm thankful that I'm kind of on the other side of that, and that all these other comedians that I know and respect and just do such great work. I could name a billion names right now, just who are like just doing the fucking work. And I'm so glad that they're still there, that I get to interact with them and I get to make funny shit with them.
Do you feel like, I know that, look, there's nothing to kind of downplay with the impact of the pandemic and everything. Do you think that ended up making you either more appreciative or stronger afterwards? I know that sounds kind of corny, but do you feel like there's a resilience that you built in now where it's, hey, I've already dealt with the worst possible scenario and now everything is just kind of cake? Or not cake, but look, I've been through worse.
Yeah. So I think I mentioned earlier where it was like, I feel like I am an honorary New Yorker, or like just a straight up New Yorker at this point, because I've went through one of the worst moments in history.
Except for that weird thing you do with your leg.
Yeah. Wait, what? Wait, what are you talking? What do you mean? I'm so conscious of my legs right now.
Focus.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
It's a posture thing.
I
make one joke about a leg. I've made jokes all night. You've been able to fucking bounce back.
Do you mean my third one? Whatever. I don't.
What?
No, I don't think I've necessarily earned anything through that. But
I don't mean earned. I mean, like, is there a part of you that now it's like you're tougher for it? You're a little bit more resilient.
Yes.
You're a little bit like, hey, adversity will hit you where before you might have, fuck. Now it's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm
not, would never think that you feel like some entitlement because, hey, I don't.
Thank you. Well, I know some people who do. And like,
I didn't invite them.
Right.
I didn't invite them to the show.
Hey, if you're listening, guys, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck that. And fuck them too.
No,
thank you for signing up for Patreon because this is
no. Honestly, thank you for Patreon. We need your support, please. Thank you. No, there is a bit of like a resilience there where like I am sort of like I went through this very awful thing.
It's almost like you learned to cope. Like been there, done that. I know how to fix this.
Yeah, I've learned to cope. I know how to like pivot. I know how to like put my head to the ground and like really work if I need to. Alluding to earlier, I think I mentioned with like the where that month that I couldn't pay rent. I know to like put my head down and
fancy champagne lady
and work work my ass off. Fancy champagne lady. That's my girlfriend.
I am being funny. You made the joke earlier.
Cristal.
Hey, when I make the joke, it's
Cristal.
She's gonna come down here and she's gonna beat the shit.
She should hit.
Like, the Dom Perignon lady. What the?
Cristal, I know you're listening. I love you so much and thank you for being my support in every regard. But B, I need you to beat the shit out of G.
Cristal, this is a completely respectful conversation. I'm very appreciative of you and your existence.
Cristal, so all right, hold on. Everything we were just talking about aside, do you remember when you came down? I think this was early 2020. You came down and you came down, or excuse me, you came up to New York. You came up to New York and we were hanging out at my job.
Yeah. And
we sent that video of like me being drunk and you being like both of us being very, very earnest. Mm-hmm. That went to Cristal. And that was before we had gotten officially together. And there's so much there to unpack. But we have been together for the longest time and I've truly never been happier.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
We is you and another bartender there at Buddha, Daryl, who have like, you didn't do this physically, but like mentally, you pulled me aside and you were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I had an answer for it, and then here we are. Now we're together, and she's the best thing that could have ever happened to me.
Holy shit! I was part of that.
You were indeed.
That is amazing.
Yeah, you were.
Look, you actually do good things sometimes.
I swear to Christ, if John doesn't stop ruining this moment.
No, he's elevating this moment. He's elevating it.
But
it's true. No,
you're too nice, Arthur.
If you ever tell, no one will believe
you.
You're
too nice.
No one will believe you.
It could be a whole ass different episode with like my like that whole journey of our relationship, but like to like summarize it, yeah, you and Daryl really sort of like mentally pulled me aside and were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then I was like, "You're right. What the fuck am I doing?" And got my shit together. And thank God she was like, when I was like, "Please take me back," she goes, "Okay."
I remember when I was out there, I was like, I'm going to meet up. I told Rosanna, I was like, I'm going to meet up with Jorge. She's like, oh, you haven't seen him in a while. I was like, yeah, I fucking love Jorge. She's like, where's he at? I was like, I don't know, somewhere in the Heights. She's like, is it far? I was like, probably not. Probably not. I'll figure it out. She's like, what do you mean, probably not? I'm like, I don't know exactly where he is. He said Buddha bar, but there's like 3 different Buddha bars out here.
Yeah.
Because there's fucking, it's a major city, so you could find 14 versions of something.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was like, yeah, I'll meet up with Jorge. And she's like, was it fun? I was like, I fucking love Jorge. Like, my reaction was always, I fucking love Jorge. It was fun.
Love you too, bud.
There's a picture of us, like, you hugging me.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Well, it's because I'm tiny and I cannot hold my liquor.
No, you can't.
Yeah, not anymore anyway.
It's so adorable.
It's so adorable. But yeah, so comedy. What we're doing there, comedy wise, at Hey Roommate Comedy is what I do with Peter, and that's we put out videos and we do live shows every now and again. We're looking to do more. You could also follow the Spell Check, and that's check is spelled with CHECC. And I'm double checking that right now because I don't know if that's actually true or not. If that's the Spell Check CHECC. That's the game show that we do. Michael Sankey and I, we have 3 comedians come up and they're performing in a spelling bee. They're competing in a spelling bee, and then we also have a 4th comedian who is sort of like a pseudo co-host. It's a very, very, very fun show. A lot of times comedians will do these shows and they're like, oh, I have to be an improviser. I have to have this brain on. Like, I always have to be on. And this show is a great way for them to sort of like take a deep breath, kind of disarm and be like, oh, I can just be myself. And then they do. And it is so goddamn funny.
That's awesome. I'm glad.
Thank you.
I'm glad you found something that you're enjoying and it seems to keep progressing. And
thank you.
As your inner voice is going to tell you that you're not doing well.
No, of course. Every time.
2 loud Hispanic voices. Well, one's more aggressive, and I'm not going to tell you which one of us is. There we go.
I'm so angry.
One of us is more aggressive than the other.
Yeah.
At least outwardly.
Right.
It's not me.
You're outwardly more aggressive. I'm inwardly more aggressive.
I didn't ask you.
Okay, you see?
Inside of you are 2 wolves, and both of them are Hispanic men. One of them is inside you. The other one is outside of you.
Inside of you.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap up this show because we're gonna just keep.
Oh, this could go on forever.
It's getting off the rails,
and I need Wendy's in me so hard.
All right, so
I said what I said.
John, where can people find you and Run BMT? I know that you mentioned it in the first part of this episode, but where can people find you, Run BMT, and if they were interested in changing their lives for the less drunken and more athletic?
Yeah, so you can hit me up on Instagram, JONE Quest. So Johnny Quest is my Instagram, or you can go to blackmattertraining.com, or you can email me at john@blackmattertraining.com.
All right. John, anything else? People, words of wisdom outside of being some out of pocket?
No, one thing real quick. If nobody has told you, you are enough.
Bro.
That's it.
All right.
Don't make me cry. He's the one who's inside of me.
Pause.
No, I said what I said. Full throttle.
Like emotionally.
Jorge,
no breaks.
Where can people find you, your comedy, and every project you're working on right now?
You can find me personally on Instagram at Jorge, I guess, JORGE, I guess. That's me.
You really mean I guess, not like you're wondering.
Correct. Yeah, that is the thing. JORGE, I guess. That's for me. You can Hey Roommate Comedy on TikTok until it gets banned. For now, yeah, until it gets banned. I have my thoughts on that.
Like tomorrow?
Honestly, I think it is going to be tomorrow. But we're on there. Also on Instagram, I think. And then the Spell Check, the Spell CHECC, is the game show that we're doing, and we're bringing that back. I want to say in early March. And there will be live stream tickets, so you can check those out at UCBcomedy.com. Obviously, we're in New York, and you can get tickets there. And yeah, we'll blast it all over socials whenever we have a new show. So
blast it.
I'll blast it.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Guys, this has been a really fun, awkward episode, but I still appreciate everything. So I really do appreciate that. And your limited time here in New York. Where are we?
We're in Florida.
We're in Orlando.
We're in Orlando.
What did I say?
Bro, what are you doing?
I'm drinking.
You need some nuggets.
I need nuggets.
Bro, we need some
in
cookies.
your limited time here in Florida, I'm very glad that I got the opportunity to interview you. I really want to pick another state to fuck with John, but I felt like it's going to just frustrate him. I was like, in your limited time here in Massachusetts.
Here we are in Tennessee, baby.
Here in Oklahoma.
Tennessee.
We're glad to bring you.
When the hell did we go to Oklahoma?
Mind your business. Hey,
Mind your business.
I had to move a couple times.
How am I going to get home?
Nah, don't worry about it.
You can ride me.
You have that Outback or whatever Subaru you have.
Crosstrek.
That Nissan Crosstrek.
No, Subaru Crosstrek Sport. What are we doing?
All right, outro. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us. If you want to follow us on socials, it's at bourbon_and_BS. We've been working a lot with a lot of local distilleries and local entities and having fun with a lot of our friends. And always remember, it's not about bourbon. I don't know everything about whiskey, but I'm an expert at bullshit. So if you're enjoying what we're doing, like, subscribe, follow the Patreons. Right now, this is a labor of love. So any bit of support is appreciated. Trust me. And if you are interested in joining Patreon, we are also giving away glasses, rocks glasses, really high quality. John, tell them the quality.
They're pretty good.
I've been looking. This is good quality.
I got one at the house. Or I got two.
These are really good.
So for anyone who is at $20 or more, we'll get glass magnet.
Oh, $20?
No. Yeah. I know, right? It's a lot. For a glass magnet and to support your fucking homies, piece of shit.
At least to the $5 tier.
For real. So, like, a lot of people are like, oh, support local, support local. This is as local as you can get. Support this.
Yeah. And 95% of what I drink is local on purpose. I don't blow smoke up anyone's ass. If I say support local.
You can blow smoke up mine.
Yeah, but that's a kink. And we're not here to shame. So, like, you'll see me. I'll do a /. I'll do Pitoro from Lugo's Craft. I will do anything I can to support local restaurants. I just think that it's bigger and better and more important to support the courtesy all day, every day. They are I fucking will murder someone for the courtesy. They're like, hey, this is the guy. I guess okay. Go to jail.
Daddy chill.
Daddy chill.
Daddy chill.
No, straight. All jokes aside, no bullshit. Support local. I think it's important to really understand that part of the reason why those local entities have so much of an impact on you is because of that personal feel. I'm not going into a cookie cutter Chick-fil-A. I'm not going to a cookie cutter like Outback Steakhouse, even though John drives an Outback. I don't go into the
Crosstrek. Bro, can you name your car the Steakhouse?
I wish you would.
It's not an Outback.
Shut up.
I'm
in the middle of a thing.
That's not my problem. You invited me here.
No. But I support local, support those entities. There's a lot of shit. We're going to start my outro over, but make sure if you like, subscribe, share, continue to support. If you're enjoying what we're doing, before TikTok bans me, follow us on Reels. I don't know. What's the Red Notice? Whatever the fuck is the new one that we're doing.
Was it Red Note and
Blue Skies or some shit like
Sky?
that?
I don't know, bro.
Yeah, so for the alternates for like Twitter and everything.
I'm too old to get it.
I'm done. Guys, drive safe. Drink responsibly. Don't text your ex.
Don't text her.
100%. Like,
them.
Let's move on. Get that revenge body.
That revenge body. Look, the easiest way to get over somebody is to get under somebody.
Good day. Hey guys, today's episode was brought to you by Burn, Termite, and Pest Control. I first met Joe Byrne on Full Frontal Nerdity Show and decided to give his company a try. They have been the best pest service I've ever had. From flexible scheduling, attention to detail, fair pricing, and everything you love about a small business, I highly recommend Joe Byrne and Burn, Termite, and Pest Control. It's a family-owned and operated business with over 30 years of experience in termite and pest. You can reach Burn, Termite, and Pest Control at 321-297-7985. Once again, 321-297-7985. And let them know Bourbon and Bullshit sent you. Thanks, guys. See you next time.